Hey guys, good afternoon. A quick update today on the Amazfit Zenbuds that I've been talking about and giving you some updates on. So, quick overview. My name is Richard Butler. I'm here twice a week, usually on Mondays and Thursdays, but sometimes I do extra little videos. And I concentrate on reviewing software for your business, uh, gadgets like these, which I'm quite fond of, and also giving you proper advice on what you need and what you don't need online because there's so many offers that are coming into your mailboxes. But today what I'm doing is I'm doing an update on these. These are the Zenbuds, and what they do, just in case this is the first time seeing the video, is that you pop these in your ear at night and they play ambient sounds until you fall asleep. And they actually turn off as soon as they detect that you've fallen asleep. I guess it's done on movement. Who knows? Some sort of magic from the earbuds. And well, I've had them now, I believe, a week. And not only do they send you off to sleep, but they also monitor your heart as it sounds so scientific and so futuristic, but they actually monitor your heart as you sleep and they tell you about your sleep patterns because they can detect movement when you move left, right, or when you're lying on your back, etc. So, what's my take on these? Well, honestly, I don't know whether it's one of these. What's the word I'm thinking of? You know, when you take one of these tablets and then it actually has no medical properties, but uh, I can't remember the word. But I don't know whether it's just because I believe they're going to work that they work so well. Um, I've been sleeping better having used these. I'm falling asleep quicker because before what would happen is I'd fall asleep and then I'd wake up about 20 minutes later and then I'd find it tough to fall asleep again. I have found that I have slept better with these in my ear. Now, a couple of questions that I've had is, are they comfortable to wear? Yes. I don't really notice them at night. I used to wear earplugs because I was having problems sleeping, and the earplugs used to annoy me a little bit. Second question people asked was, do they actually make a rubbing noise, or do you hear a noise when your head moves on the pillow? I haven't felt or heard any noise from that. The third thing that somebody asked me was, what about the alarm function? Oh boy, what about the alarm function? Now, I only tried it once just to answer the question that somebody had asked me. And honestly, the alarm wasn't bad. The alarm is like just a ringing sound that goes from ear to ear to ear to ear, like when they say stereo, 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 it goes from one ear to the other. Um, how do you turn off the alarm is a very good question that I couldn't figure out because I thought you could just tap on the earbud, but that didn't seem to work. So I tapped on the other earbud and that didn't seem to work. So I just took them out and that was it. But supposedly by tapping on the earbuds, it's meant to stop the alarm. Now I will continue to experiment with that. So after a week, what are my impressions of this? First thing is the design is lovely and the packaging I've talked about is very good. This sometimes I find a little bit difficult to open. Um, the earbuds themselves are quite small. They're grey in color, which it can be a little bit, well, I suppose they're grey in color because they're meant to be inconspicuous. So you don't want something that's like flashing and very bright at night because that could, or bright color because that could disturb other people. But I do find if you wake up in the morning and you're half asleep, you have to be careful about taking them off because you could easily just take them off and then step on them. And then that would be a bit of a problem because then you'd only have one earbud. The other thing that I found is you do have to be careful because if you kind of take them off, and for guys, if you're going to the toilet in the morning, they could actually fall down the toilet. And if that happened, I'm sure A, you don't want to put them in your ear again after that, and B, I'm sure it would actually ruin the technology. So they can be a little bit finicky like that just for taking them off, but not overly finicky that I would say do not use them or buy them. Um, Charging, well, I like the way these work because they're very similar to iPods or AirPods. That you just keep putting them back in the case and they charge automatically in the case. If I open it up here, you will see if you can see that that's the electronical part of the actual earbud, and I guess these are sensors here, and this little bit here is the actual charging unit because you can see there the way it just clips into that part there. So every time you put it in, it constantly charges. So that means when you take them out at night, they should be charged. I have this setting on the app to say switch off the sounds as soon as I fall asleep. Now you could actually have those sounds playing all night if you wanted. I find that it uses up about 30 to 40% of battery over, well, I sleep about 7 hours max. So it uses about 40% battery, but I haven't charged the case, I think, in a week maybe, I'm not sure, but I don't recall charging it more than once, I think, just when I initially got them. So in that sense, it's very handy. You could probably go for away for a weekend without actually having to take the charger with you. It does use the USB-C, the new standard. So if you have different USB cables, I'm just looking at my desk here. If you have different USB cables, it mightn't, well, it won't work, full stop. So, but if you had this charged, I think you could go away for a weekend just with the case and the earbuds, and you would be fine. Um, any other thoughts on these? Well, it comes from a very good company, from what I know of them. Amazfit are part of a larger electronics company that do phones. Xiaomi, that was the word I was looking for. I believe they're part of Xiaomi, but this is their health division. So they do have other health products. You also get an app that you connect to. And every morning, that's a very good point. Every morning, what I just do is I leave the Zenbuds beside my iPhone, and that then sends the data to my iPhone of how I've actually slept. Now, I'm a little bit, I don't, I'm not really a mathematical person, but I do like stats from gadgets. So, and this will make you laugh. So I'm comparing the stats that I'm getting from the Apple Watch with Watch OS 7 and with the Fitbit. Yeah, I tell you, I'm like a prisoner with all these things connected to me. And more or less the stats are similar. I'd say the Apple Watch gives poorer stats than either the Fitbit, which is telling me my sleep, or the Zenbud. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy, but definitely between Zenbuds and the actual Fitbit, the discrepancy is less. Um, for example, the other night, the Apple Watch was recording that I was asleep a lot earlier than I was. Now, I had kind of relaxed on the couch, so maybe it was just picking up a lack of movement. Whereas the Fitbit and the Zenbuds, well, I wasn't wearing the Zenbuds, but the Fitbit knew when I had gone to bed, more or less. And the difference in the timings were about 10 minutes between when one thought I went to bed and when the other thought that I went to bed. So personally, I have had a very good experience, I think, with these Zenbuds. I think I would recommend them. As I say, these you are going to see more of these videos, and as people ask me questions, I will record answers to those questions. But I'll give you another update on these particular ones, probably in a month's time. Now, if you liked my video, if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Do give me a thumbs up. Do press that little subscribe button and hit that bell so that we can actually, or I can actually notify you, or YouTube, should I say, can notify you when I upload a new video. As I said, I try and upload 2 videos a week. The first one is about business and internet marketing products that you may or may not want to use. And the second video on a Thursday is going to be more of a tutorial video where I'm going to be talking about things that people need to know if they want to do anything online. For example, hosting, talking about email systems, talking about setting up simple funnels, etc. All these things that you may have heard of and that you may want to use. So I will talk to you next week. Hopefully you learned something from that video. Talk to you soon. Bye.